what did I do with the chops? Let me check. Kick drum, another kick drum, and they are not playing together this time. It's just as a ghost kick, you know. And I used a snare, another snare, two snares, two hi-hats. That's for the drums. And for the sounds, the piano. What else did? Oh yeah, for some steps. I use this, you know, in the 16 levels. If I select it and I do the velocity, you know, you get the volume change. You know, I think that was cool. What else did I use? The bass. I recorded just a soul track. There was a bass line in it, and I recorded it first into the MPC 2000, and I used the low pass filter on it, and then recorded into the MPC 16, and also with the bass line. It's just one bass note, and what I did is 16 levels and the note variation. There you have. You know, it's just like a bass guitar. That's how I do it, man. And yes, trumpets, and all together, you know. The kick drum, I used the EQ, just a little enhancement, a little cutting, because I didn't like that frequency. And I routed the EQ to the warm audio compressor, just for the punch. I think it's really good. And for the snare, I used the Altec almost every time because it's a killer compressor. And for the hi-hats, I use just Voltec EQ, just some tube and some high-end. And for the kick snare bus, I used the Umic, also one of my best friends. And for the piano sample, I used Uray. And what else did I use? Oh yes, of course, for the bass, I used the SPL Vitalizer. Just some bass enhancement, extra bottom end. And for the saxophone, I used the TL Audio. Yeah, valve compressor, that's what I used. And of course some small EQ things on the desk. So I'm about to record it to tape to the 8-track Vostex R8. Just for some adding some vintage sound. The reference of my mixer, of course, yeah. Let me check it. It's TX M15. It's not the best mixer in the world, but I did some modifications on it, better components in it. I recapped the power supply. And what else did I do? Yeah, better components in the EQ section. That's about it, I think. So the amount of channels, it's 24, and I use the first 8 is for the MPC. The second 8 is for my hybrid mixing. It's just from the computer, my DAW, back to my console, so I can also use digital tracks to my board. And the last 8 tracks are the returns of the tape machine. So that's 24 tracks. And yes, this is the bus section, so I hear everything what goes through my interface. so that's all separated. It's the head, snare kicks, samples. I like to record them separately, and just for some small EQ things. Yeah, that's what I use on this console.